What's going on, Uncouth Radio? We are here. We are in a house, and the house is packed. You know, we got a whole lot to talk about, but I am honored to have a very special guest on with us this evening. We have Jerlene Tatum, who is in the know, plugged in into the Long Beach scene of politics, and she talks about a whole bunch of stuff too. But if you go to her page, she's really good with informing the people of Long Beach. She basically does the clean version of what we do for the city of Long Beach. So we glad to have you here, Jerlene. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we got Q the Rebel, and we got Ron, and I'm Black Y'all Wilson. Look, let's just jump right into it. All right, midterms last night. Let's just give me your initial hot takes. Your initial hot takes. Let's start with ladies first. Jerlene, initial hot takes on the midterms.
I don't know if I should be here. I don't know. I, I think my filters are broken, so I may say
That,
something out of line, but I'm gonna get started. There's a new member of Congress.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, came from Long Beach.
Talk
yeah,
about it. Talk
Ooh.
yeah.
about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm actually glad he's going out of Long Beach.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
scary.
Our former mayor, huh?
Yep, former mayor of Long Beach, Robert Garcia, is now a congressman. So replacing Congressman Alan Lowenthal. So I'm like, peace out. The only thing is that he done left this Long Beach in a hot mess.
Officer, well, tell us about it. Tell us why you glad he left Long Beach. Let's get into it. Let's go. And don't worry about your filter being broke. We have none. Let's go.
Years of what is it? What is it called? What's that? Performance art. Years of performance art. You know, the whole TED Talk thing and the big screens and the infomercials. Yeah, I
And,
just it
and not doing the damn thing.
yeah. Let's move the homeless over to the side so we can get this good shot right here. So he was my council member. I actually supported him when he ran the first time, and disappointed in the fact that I'm like, adios though, but it's sad that he's able to talk about how great and wonderful he's been for the city of Long Beach when go to end the block, you see an encampment.
There's a lot of that
that,
shit
that's
going around.
that's how wonderful it is right about now. So,
There's a lot of people talking about how great they was in Long Beach.
but it
There's a
was
lot of that going around.
But it was a whole political plan, though. I was like a long-standing political plan that was like straight chess pieces of folks moving. Alan Lowenthal moved out, Garcia moved up, Rex Richardson, campaigning for the at least a minimum of the last 4 years for his position of mayor, um, and a whole bunch of pawns. Some of them ain't that smart either. Oh wait,
Well,
but a
I tell you,
pawn usually isn't.
well, it's interesting that you say that because one thing I will say, and me and Quincy have talked about this at length. I've learned so much about the political process actually being boots on the ground for watching a sheriff campaign, starting with Eric Strong all the way to Villanueva. So watching everything, how it went and how everything unfolds, I feel like I thought I knew what was going on because we have been talking about local politics and all that for so long. We don't know shit. Like we don't know nothing till you get in there and you really see the inner workings, like you said, like how they move people around, how there are certain plans for certain people, how they have certain people are chosen to do certain things, so they
Yep.
really give them a pathway, to get to those things and to get to those places. Like it's really, really crazy to watch how the pieces on the board gets moved. And to
Mhm.
me, the most disheartening and the most fucked up thing about the whole thing is the way those pieces get moved on the chessboard don't have shit to do with us in the community.
Man, they use us. They use
Yeah.
it like that. I watched that unfold here in Long Beach, or I mean, even not just in Long Beach. Like right now, I'm on overdrive. I watched the video of Luna, former chief of police of Long Beach, now sheriff of Los Angeles, unless there's a big shift in those numbers. I watched this video of him at one of the mega churches in LA. And he got up there and he just lied. I'm like, dang, if I'd have been if I'd have been sitting in that audience, I probably would have fell out with the Holy Ghost, like, wow, because I'm like, what is he talking about? Like, really? You did all that? And the thing about it, and bless our men, our black ministers and stuff, they just as proud and just as happy that, he was special guest. Yeah, okay. I heard about what he did to black people. Oh wait, I know some black people that he done did something to. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now.
Well, listen, and you know, and that's the thing, and because we probably have to still sit with some of these people, I'm not really gonna say no names and bash nobody too bad because we still got to try to get shit done for the community. But I've seen some people get put into places, and you know, Quincy went up to some of these folks and asked them directly, like, "Yo, what's good? What's going on? How you gonna fix this? What's the plan for Black people? What's the policy?" And they literally hit them with the "Let's have coffee." They hit him with the LA. You know what I'm saying? They hit him with the.
Well, I mean, but a lot of people feel that means they're doing something, right? They get, oh, I had coffee with so and so, and they get in a little photo op. I don't take pictures with people. I stopped taking pictures with people years ago. Like if you see me in a picture, it's either me trying to hide behind somebody, or if it's me and I'm smiling, they got my permission first.
Yeah.
But I don't. But I'm like you, yeah, because that whole let's do coffee, okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, after I went up, see, Dan, you didn't change my whole mentality now. Because I was prepared to come on this motherfucker and just unload. And then you said we might have to talk to some of these people. So now I got like 80% of the shit I was about to just regularly say. I have to completely like, damn. I was like, he just made a great point. So now I just got to recalibrate.
You know you acting right because the lady in the room. You know you acting right because the lady in the room.
No, I was about to say some.
I'll say it for you.
I was prepared to say some things. You know, look, like Dame said, you know, this whole process, we put our naive ass in this situation thinking that people cared about the people.
Yeah.
This shit has nothing to do with the people.
That was the biggest mistake we made, was coming here thinking that this shit was really about the people.
It was not about the people. It's about people who's trying to get power.
And money.
And money. And Chan walking in my shot and shit. Just grabbing stuff out the refrigerator. But yeah, it's the most insane thing. And just to let you know, folks know, that's one of the things Villanueva actually said to us. Like, we haven't asked for any personal favors. We went in there with our mindset, you know, thinking like this is about the community, and it had nothing to do with that. And I'm going to say what I said to the sheriff and what I've been saying. What I've been, anytime one party dominate a certain demographic, it's going to be corruption. It's going to be shadiness. It's going to be corruption. And it's crazy because when me and Dane brought this up with the sheriff, he pointed out in other states where Republicans, it's the same thing. He was like, yeah, it's happened in Kansas and it happened in Texas. You got one party to where they don't have to fear about being unseated. There's no consequences. I mean, pretty much they ran this sheriff race like a WWE script.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gonna be the good guy, he gonna be the bad guy. We gonna do this. It was like pretty much like watching wrestling. I thought I was watching Stone Cold and The Rock.
Hey,
like,
that's a great analogy.
It's happening. It was happening in Long Beach where the Rex Richardson gets up and he's like, "We're the good guys. You see we're the good guys." And I'm like, so what? Everybody else is bad. That whole. Maybe it's too much DC Comics, you know. Maybe it's too much, the superhero and the evil villain. I mean, we done bought into that to the point of where it is exciting.
Well, that's how, like Quincy said. Like I said, that's a great analogy, Quincy. Like, that's really how they ran it. They ran it on some WWE shit, and you're literally watching people do and say things where you like, I've seen and have documented proof that they're lying right here, right now. That's another reason I couldn't be a politician, because I'll be on debates like this motherfucker lying and everything in front of my family and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'll be trying to fight.
Hey, but and you know what? And let's talk about this first, because I seen people really excited about the measure to let the board of supervisors kick the sheriff off. People like, I voted for. I said, y'all realize y'all just gave them the permission to say fuck y'all vote. That's one. I said, and two, now you gave them the control to where every sheriff that comes in has to be beholden to the board of supervisors and not to the people. And again, like Quincy said, that board of supervisors got corruption too. So y'all just gave power to a bunch of corrupt motherfuckers to say that they gonna be in charge of the sheriff. So that means they always gonna flex that if the sheriff don't do what I want, you out of here.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. People had they been away with blinders on, and they didn't realize because I had to point out to somebody today. I said, what if there's a sheriff that you do like, and the board of supervisors decide they don't like him, and they just get rid of him because they can? You gave them that power. I said, so they can negate 2 million people could vote for somebody, and if the board of supervisors don't like them, they can get rid of them. 5 people.
Y'all voted for that.
You voted for that.
I don't even. What was interesting, I didn't see any people speaking against it. Like, I know I was like, when I looked at it, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, what's next? Right? What's next?
Just to make this little point, because they attached it to Villanueva.
Right. So it was they built a measure based on a single person on a motion. That's what that was. It was on a motion on one person. That is the stupidest thing. Like that doesn't make any sense. The fact that even made it to the ballot. And then the fact that people are so, this is being progressive. You just gave your vote away. You just let 5, like I said, I'm still baffled in that. When I was watching those numbers, I was just like, damn.
Like, you voted to give your vote away.
Yes. Why do we vote for a sheriff then? Don't vote for a sheriff.
Yeah, if that's the case, then let the board of supervisors hire the sheriff.
Right, because then you're wasting money. Because now you're wasting money. Oh, we're gonna go through this election. We're gonna spend these millions of dollars. They're gonna raise millions of dollars, and then we're gonna be like, we don't like your ass. You gotta go.
Yeah, because there's for y'all that don't know, there's a process if somebody you elected and you don't like. It's called a recall. What's the purpose of that now? I mean, if it's a shit, there's no reason to have a recall. The board of supervisors will just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it'll get challenged. Hopefully, it'll get challenged and it'll be found that it's unconstitutional. After they done spent millions of dollars for it to be on the ballot.
Well, it definitely was going to get challenged under Villanueva if he had won. I don't think Luna is going to shake up that bird cage.
Somebody else going to have to shake it up, though. Somebody else going to get a lawyer, and I might get a lawyer and challenge the constitutionality of it. Because that's crazy to me. I was just like, what's the point of voting? And again, y'all gave this power to a board of supervisor who's already been doing some shady shit. Like, that is crazy to me. But again, if you run the shit like a WWE, you run the shit like, you know what I'm saying? You run the play that, and again, like you said, Jerlene, they made this based off of not liking one sheriff. There's gonna be a time there's a sheriff that's in there that we like, that's doing shit for black folks, that's actually giving, and they gonna get their ass up out of there.
Yeah, I mean, what if Luna get in there and he does see that what Villanueva was saying is true, and there is some crime and some corruption? He ain't gonna be comfortable. He ain't gonna do
nothing about it. I'm saying this publicly. I've said this in private conversations. I have not said this publicly. I'm gonna say this publicly. This is my take. Now, if I'm right, somebody need to pay me. Okay, if I'm right, I want some money. So I'm gonna play some bets. Those sheriff are gonna rebel because they're not gonna be happy the fact that somebody is over them that is not part of their rank and file. We gonna see people getting their ass beat all over Los Angeles County, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it because ain't nobody gonna be able to control them. So everything that we don't want, it's gonna get bad. Now, I
think we're gonna see a lot of
maybe I don't watch too many movies, but it's not gonna be good for us because my thing is if Long Beach, living in Long Beach had some issues. 800 officers, I think max over the last few years, 760 or whatever. If Luna couldn't manage properly 700 and something employees, officers, management, whatever you want to call them, how the hell he gonna manage 18,000 employees of a department? 18,000.
With a lot of them who are talking about leaving. That's what I
I'm-
was hearing last night.
Hmm.
Last night I was hearing that a lot of them was saying if he wins, there's going to be a mass exodus of sheriff deputies. You know, my biggest issue with the whole Luna deal was just people not even holding him accountable or reassuring that he's going to do right if he got into office. Like, I don't look, if you're going to, you know, I don't like misleading voters. You know, there was a time where the media gave facts so we could form our opinion. Now the media formed their opinion and we got to fucking figure out the facts. But if you're going to just open and get somebody the red carpet to being the top law enforcement official in the county, at least give us some reassurance that the shit that he was doing 20 years prior, he ain't gonna do once he get in now. And the Black Minister Alliance in Long Beach, the NAACP,
You're
hell,
making my face twitch. Stop. You making my face twitch.
The president of the 14 chapters of the NAACP, he was in that meeting when I confronted Luna. All these other, you know, Black folks who I've just seen just kind of just give him a pass. And I mean, what's so hard about asking Luna, hey, you come from a department where you didn't promote no Black women. Are you going to do that in the sheriff? You coming from a department where you went through multiple academies for no Black people. I told somebody that hit me up in the media today, I said, you know, Villanueva, you know, implemented one of the main things that me and Dame suggested. He was going to make 15% of his academies Black. I said, you think you can ask Luna if he's willing to take on that golden challenge? I'm going to talk to Luna about all this. It's after the fact now. The time to do that was to hold him accountable was before people went out there and decided to vote for him.
And another thing, sorry, Quincy, but real quick, another thing too, because we were in a spot where, damn, like I said, it's some things I wish I could say. I'll just say somebody who's very entrenched in the Democratic Party was told anybody but Villanueva. They was told, we don't care who he's running against, we're backing whoever he's running against. So that's why it didn't matter what Luna's record was, because there was a referendum on Villanueva that said anybody but him. So that's why when you ask why does he get a pass, because from the up high in the Democratic Party, they were telling the people that have boots on the ground, the people that's working in the community, telling them get him out at all costs, no matter what. Now
the same Democratic Party that's bought by the LA Fed. Oh, I didn't say that. Did I say that?
No, Ace. That's it. Listen, and to the point where Black people, because again, and Quincy will tell you, Ron will tell you, even when we got on the show, we never was like, yo, go vote for Villanueva. We just said, yo, here's the information, and here's the information on Luna. And some people literally said to me, I said, well, just look at the other guy. Like, if you don't like Villanueva, that's cool. Just look at the other guy. They said, I don't have to look at the other guy. I don't care. Long as Villanueva out. I said, so even if he's worse, they're like, it don't matter. I just know I don't like him. And that was kind of the narrative that the Democratic establishment actually pushed and ran with. And that, to me, I feel like that was a disservice to our community, doing it like that.
Yeah, I mean, the one of the biggest obvious hypocrisy is the same Democratic Party was saying, well, Caruso used to be a Republican and he only turned Democrat to run for mayor, was supporting Luna, who's been a Republican for 35 years and decided to become a Democrat until he started to run for sheriff.
Literally had a Trump flag flying in the Long Beach Police Department.
And you know, it's just the constant hypocrisy. Like, I don't believe in just giving, especially when you're talking about positions to where it definitely impacts people and impacts, the black community at a much higher rate than any other, are just giving them something without holding them accountable or holding their feet to the fire. Like I told somebody today, I said, y'all could have still pushed Luna, but at least hold his ass accountable to know that, okay, this was your record in Long Beach. Are you going to do things differently when you become sheriff? Like,
right.
These are the things people want to know. We need to know. And to now, they want to, like, there's a media person last night was like, hey, give me a call because Luna went, I want to talk. I don't want to talk now. Like, what the fuck we gonna talk about now?
Well, yeah,
Like,
and even bigger than that too, man. Like when you talk about like the whole play, right? This is something I want to tell my people in the community, my people, especially locally, or anybody who's watching, but specifically to like LA and Cali. Black folks need to vote policy, not for people, because what they do is they get us and be trying to tug us by our emotions and shit and get our judgment all cloudy, right? Go ahead. You muted, Jerlene. Go ahead.
No, I just what you said. I mean, policy, not people. I think part of it, I've sat in so many spaces, black spaces. When you start talking policy, people get like kind of wigged out. It's like we don't want to have an understanding of what that means, right? So it's easier to pick someone on their personality, knowing that they've already created harm. That it's like I don't understand it. Like I don't understand it. Why are we reluctant to learn or to be informed about the policy? And why are we so happy to pick somebody based upon their personality, not what the substance they actually bring to the table? Like, as black people, I'm confused.
And that's how they keep getting us every election cycle, right? And again, like I said, being behind the scenes and seeing how it work, how they place and put people in there, and how they literally use our trauma against us to try to, get us to vote a certain way, or it's crazy. Like, it's crazy, but that's why I say, like, look at the policies of the people you voting for. Like, damn the personalities, because a lot of people vote based on, especially black people, and I know this like literally from conversation after conversation. I don't like him. I don't like the way he talk. Even if they had the policies that will benefit them, even if they, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think we got to get out of that, and we really got to start asking people and holding the people, especially locally, to the fire. Like, what are you going to do for my community? Because, like I said, one of the things I saw was the amount of money that was supposed to get to us that could have really made a difference in our neighborhoods that didn't get to us, because the people who did have a seat at the table, our so-called black leaders, our so-called black clergy, was not bringing it home. They was not bringing it to us.
They just happy to be at the table. They just happy to be at the table, happy to be in a picture.
One of the black ministers in Long Beach, Reggie Sanders, Pastor Sanders. I talked to him. Gregory Sanders. I don't know where I got Reggie. Gregory Sanders. I spoke with him and I said, look, I don't understand if you had to sit at the table in Long Beach, how does this department go this long without promoting any African American women? How does this department, out of 800 officers, have 30 black officers? And I just went on a list. I said, there's no way. He pulled out his phone. I swear to you, he pulled out his phone and he said, Luna, like my friend, we go on trips together. And he said, I'm just not just sitting at the table. I said, there's no way my
playing dominoes with him. That's his level of engagement. Playing dominoes.
I said, there's no way my friend that I call my friend will have those type of numbers in his police department and I not say nothing to his ass.
Okay, I'm gonna put myself way out there right now, because then I like I said, I don't know if it's a good time for me to be in this call right now. The Ministerial Alliance, that used to be the Black Ministerial Alliance, was originally created to ensure that Black people got to help and support Black people to move through the ranks in civic government in Long Beach through fire department, through police department, through the different city departments. Okay. Sanders, when he came in, the way that he got connected, to sit at that table is because there was an individual officer, an individual management staff that had been passed up for an elevate because what's the how's the promotion? It's sergeant,
lieutenant,
commander. They had got passed up. They called me. They asked me to connect them with someone. I directly connected them with Sanders. Now, that person did get promoted. They got promoted all the way up to as far as they could get before they retired out. I've seen a couple other faces, but the fact that you said when they put out that picture for the PD Academy this past year, it was no black faces in it. If it was, I think it was one, and he was light bright in the back. Couldn't tell them the difference from the rest of them. So anyway, it angers me. It angers me because from a community standpoint, and who wanted to believe in the power of community and wanted to believe in our clergy, and to see how they get it the freaking seat at the table and they don't do shit, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. Same thing with the Long Beach branch NAACP, Naomi Rainey.
Don't waste your even time talking about that.
No, cause I remember when I was actually going through what I was going through in Long Beach, and I reached out to her. I said, because a couple of people like, look, reach out to the NAACP. I reached out to her, I talked to her, and the first thing she said, she was like, "What type of dirt you got for me?" I was like, "I don't have no dirt." And she wanted to know about something about Chief Bats. I said, "I don't know shit about bats." She's like, "Well, don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining." I said, "Look, I don't know about these old civil rights sayings and shit. All I wanted is, can you help me, with what I'm going through?" So she's like, "Well, who you having problems with?" So I'm naming some of the most racist motherfuckers in the department. She's like, "Oh, that's like my son." I was like, "What?" "Oh, that's like my son." So when I filed my lawsuit, Michael Beckman, one of her sons, the one that put Obama face on the trash can, he has in his bio that he's an NAACP member. And his ass didn't go to not one meeting. So when he testified in my case, he was able to say he was an NAACP. Yeah. So the NAACP in Long Beach branch was giving cover to the bigots in the department. So when they testified in the lawsuits, they were saying that they was NAACP members. That's the type of shit that's going on. I said I was gonna hold back, but
look, I'm like,
person.
you gonna get me in trouble, Quincy. You can't talk about Miss Rainey like that, Quincy.
Hey, matter of fact, you know what? Don't take my advice. Google Long Beach branch NAACP and look at the members of that motherfucker, and tell me, do you think that represent us? And that's pretty much what. That's why I'm really not surprised. Like I said, there was an NAACP member in that meeting when I confronted Luna. He said his ass right over there in the corner and stayed quiet.
And he's just there to observe.
Yeah, and then all 14 branches came out last week, speaking out against Villanueva and the treatment and great at the sheriff's department. Long Beach has the second biggest police department in LA County. Have you ever heard NAACP give Long Beach a grade?
No, because every time someone complains about one of them, all of a sudden they receive an award.
Luna's son got an award from the NAACP. Damn, you're mute.
So you talking about the one who got kicked out of the police academy and the one who was stealing shit from the fire department?
No, you got it backwards.
Oh,
he was stealing shit from the fire department. He's in the police academy right now.
Oh, okay. That's why I say, man, this shit, we walked our naive asses in there thinking this shit was for the people, about the people. Listen, when it comes to these meetings and when you come to sitting in these rooms, we the last thing talked about. Like we literally the last thing talked about.
So how do we change it? I mean, I recently sat in years ago, many years ago, I was a paid member and I was attending meetings, and it just NAACP got too much for me. I just stopped. And recently I was attending a meeting and I was sitting there biting my lip through the whole meeting. What I did when I got off the meeting, me and somebody else from the meeting, we went ahead and we got our memberships, because I'm like, okay, what happens if enough people that are really sick and tired of the crap decided we're gonna go through the process. We're gonna go through the process. Like, I mean, because what else do we do? I mean, we can sit and complain about it.
No, I think we try to do what we're doing, right? Like what we'll do is we need to get in front of these people. We need to have conversations with them. We need to press policy like we did with the sheriff. And if there's issues we have, like we did with the sheriff, we bring up those issues. We check them on their bullshit. And the problem is, once you get in there, people get ambitious. And when you get ambitious, you're going to start compromising shit for your ambition. So you need people that's everyday people like me, like you, Darlene, like Quincy, who like, I don't want to be governor. I don't want to be senator. I don't want to be none of that shit. I just want my community to be better. And if we can stay the course like that, we keep going in, having these conversations with these people, working on policy, and then we come back here on our platform. You go on your platform, and we come together on our platform, and we got to try to be the loudest voice in, the loudest voice for the community to say, like, look, y'all speak to us, because like Quincy will tell you, if somebody told us, oh, the sheriff did messed up to us, or we even had a community meeting where some people was like, I was in the jail, we let them say that. We let them get that shit off.
And we spoke to them privately about it. Like when folks came up to me and like, hey, like, because people's words start getting around. Hey, Villanueva, hey, can you talk to him about blah, blah, blah? I took it straight to him like, hey, there's somebody that's saying they get fucked with because they filed a complaint. I need you to look into that. I take it straight to him. And that's why, like, this whole thing that we were on his payroll, we wouldn't allow ourselves to be on the payroll, because if we was on this payroll, we couldn't talk to him the way we was talking to. Yeah. Dame literally told the sheriff to his face, black people don't fuck with you. If we was on his payroll, you wouldn't have been able to get that off. Let me tell you. Nobody on his payroll is talking to him like that. So it's getting in these spaces and really holding their feet to the fire that we have to do. But the disheartening thing, like there's a lot of things I expected, but to see the enablism, if that's even where, I don't know, of black leaders and activists and that's the disheartening, the biggest disappointing part about this situation for me. Is like, I don't give a fuck how much I don't like one candidate. I ain't never giving nobody a pass for being racist. Yeah. And are enabling racism, especially for like 20 years. That's why I kept on telling people, what has Villanueva done so bad in these 3.5 years that just made me overlook 2 decades of Luna fucking up?
I think also part of it is when we're expecting someone to address racism and white supremacy when they themselves is enabling it. So we're going to organizations, they doing it to us. I see and I say this all the time, people get mad at me. I know more black white supremacists than I know white supremacists, because we trying to hold up that ideology that light or white bright is more, they're more valuable than we are. And we trying to, and so I don't subscribe to it. I don't subscribe to it. And even the whole conversation, people were pissed that I went out and met Villanueva. And I said, I'm not naive to the fact that law enforcement, all of them, sheriff, police department, wherever in Timbuktu, it's built on white supremacist ideology. I'm not in denial of that, and I'm not naive to that. But it's also the system that we have to work within. And yeah, when I call 911, I want them to show up at my house.
Absolutely. And you know what, Jerlene? It's funny you say, because I literally said that. I said that to the sheriff to his face. I was like, we don't have a problem with the police. We had a problem with corrupt police. We have a problem with racist police. I was like, that's what we have a problem with. Like, do we still want our neighborhoods to be safe? Yes. Do we still want our neighborhoods to be patrolled? Yes. But what we don't want to be is terrorized literally just for existing. That's what we don't want. And these are conversations and things we talked about. And I'm glad you brought up that point about white supremacy, because another thing that I've seen is a lot of these black folks that get in these spaces, they just want a piece of the white supremacy. They want their own little piece of it. They want the access to the power. They don't want to take down that power. They don't want to change the power structure. They just want access to it. And once they get access to that power, they're not going to reach back and do shit for the neighborhood no more, because they have that access now. Now that's what the seat at the table becomes for them.
Look,
Ron, I know you got some shit to say. Come on.
Look, let me make this point. We literally heard a phone call.
Oh yeah. I
ain't gonna say no names. I'm gonna keep this name because I got another name I'm bringing up later. But we literally heard a phone call of somebody tell the sheriff, "Hey, look, I'm gonna donate you some money, but I can't publicly come out and support you because I make more money going against you publicly." That's the WWE shit.
Yeah. Like,
that's the WWE shit.
When I heard that shit, I think was the first thing that we witnessed. Like the first thing we witnessed ourselves.
Our fucking faces was on the floor. The person was on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Because the sheriff, they wanted to prove a point about all these activists and shit. They wanted to prove a point. Literally heard the person say, and if I said their name, everybody would know who the fuck they are. Literally say,
when the call is over, can you tell me, please? I want to know.
I'll tell you. Literally said, I can't support you publicly, but I donate you some money. But I make more.
Look, it wasn't a little bit of money.
Yeah. We ain't talking about a $500 donation. Literally heard the shit myself.
We want to know the name, Q. Come on, spit it out.
No, I ain't gonna do it.
No, we ain't gonna drop that. We can't drop that one publicly.
Because there was some things that was shared confidentially, and we wanted to keep, like, we gave our word. I want to be a man of my word. But what's your saying, Ron? Our skin folks?
Ain't kin folks. You know, and I, that kind of segues into kind of what I was going to say. And I'm also proud that we have a sister with us today. Appreciate you being on. I've tried to remain quiet to just give you an opportunity to speak, as you have a lot more to contribute to this conversation. But I mean, Dame and Quincy are kind of saying what I've been preaching, and it's amazing how we've kind of transitioned. I was the anti-establishment to begin with, and have kind of come over on the side. And now that they've gotten the chance to be inside, they're kind of seeing like, uh-oh, it looks different. My question to the Black community is what are we going to do? I mean, we have examples of other communities that have been oppressed in the city, that we've literally sat and watched Pacific Islanders come here, struggle, build their community within their small pack, build up, keep growing, and then they move on, move upwards, and move out. What's impeding us from doing that? And mind you, they don't have as much representation in politics. What they do, though, is that when they have something or someone wrongs them, they stand on that. So if you've wronged our community, I don't care if you deal with us or not, we're going to stand on that. And my question to the Black community is when are we just going to start standing on truth and honor, which is, Ron, you say you're going to represent us. If we find out you aren't, you're done here.
Well, I was going to say, Ron, you asking that question again, another thing we learned being in this process. A lot of Black people get their seat to the table, get access, and they ask for personal favors. They ask for shit just specifically for them, for shit that they need.
Hey, Sheriff, my cousin is in Wayside. Can you do something about that? Blah, blah, blah.
Instead of Sheriff, the population in Wayside is 45% Black. Can we look to maybe lower that for some of the nonviolent criminals? Can we look to get some program?
No, that wasn't a phone call that the person gave. And this,
I'm sure.
That's not a made-up conversation. Motherfucker really like, Sheriff, my cousin
And what I'm saying, Ron, is so a lot of the people that we thought we should trust, or the people that were supposed to be representing us, the people that were supposed to be the voice that were in these rooms, these are the things that we saw occurring and happening. And even to the point where we had a conversation where they was like, look, the Asians came in here with a list of what they want. The Pacific Islanders came in here with the list of what they want. The Latinos came in here they said all the black folks come in here talking about what they want for themselves. They don't come in here talking about what they want for the community. And I couldn't believe this whole time.
This is coming from the sheriff campaign people.
Yeah,
this is coming from the sheriff people. This exactly what Dame says. Exactly what we were told.
And I was like, I can't believe that me and Quincy were the first to really come in and just be on some. Because like Quincy said, I was just like, yo, I'm finna be raw because I might never see this dude again. So all the shit I need to get off, I'm finna get off. So that's why I was like, yeah, what's up, man? Black people don't fuck with you. Like, that's my opening salvo to him. That's the first thing I said to the sheriff after sitting and listening to him talk for an hour.
And mind you, Dane, the people going to them may have more than you, and yet they're still asking for something just for themselves.
Oh, they do, player. They
do.
Yeah.
You know,
they got way more than us.
These people have much more than us, player. But that's what I'm saying. So, but what I'm saying is when you ask the question, when are black people going to stand on truth and honor? We have to always put people feet to the fire, even those that we trust, even those that we have speaking for us, because what's happening is we just voting people in and we just getting what we get. And once we vote them in, we leave it and we don't go like, oh, you supposed to be our councilman. Nobody goes to the councilman like you supposed to be doing ABC. You know what I mean? And if they do that, they not blasting them when they don't. You know what I mean? So that's why I say we gotta be louder megaphones for the people. Like we gotta really go in there and really, go ahead, Quincy.
I was about to say, and because we've operated like this, when city council tapes are released, you see all these same black activists who was hugging, laughing, in them photo ops with Nuri Martinez and the rest of them.
You talking about Najee Ali?
His ass.
I was just about to say
look, I saw that nigga out anyway.
Man.
And he couldn't even admit to us that he was supporting Luna at the debate. It was like, we know you ain't here for Luna. He's like, no, I'm here for Karen Bass. But then you turn around, that motherfucker endorsed Luna. He couldn't even tell us to our face.
Well, it's time we call him out.
Let's not even waste no time talking about him.
Yeah, no, we don't need to waste time on the people that are working against us. Let's waste less time worried about those people and focus on the people that we do know are true to us. Now, can you guys give us any insight? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to ask you, but how do we hold those people? How do we deal with those people? One, the Alis. How do we deal with them? Okay, because we ain't gonna be able to hold him accountable, but how do we deal with him? But then how do we hold people accountable that can provide, that can elevate us, that can change the quality of life for our communities if they so choose to? Like, how do we do that? Because I've watched here in Long Beach that we had 3 black city council members at the same time.
At the same time.
And still ain't got anything. And nobody, and what happened, what was celebrated was the fact that, oh, we got 3 African-American council members. That was the celebration.
Well, because that becomes enough. Because that becomes enough, Jolene. Like that's the story of having your first African-American mayor, that becomes the story, and then policy falls to the wayside, right? Because it's like, well, we got this. Don't ask for too much more. Because we saw it even with Obama when they was like, well, Obama's in there. They're giving him a hard time. Don't ask for too much. Y'all asking them for too much as the first black. So I see like this is the thing. They give us a little crumbs. Like they give us the few blacks. And then if you notice, they give us a few of them blacks. Then they get their asses up out of here and we don't have shit for some years.
They pull the resources.
They pull the resources and they pull, what I mean? They pull the resources and they pull, like they stop, like, think about it. Just to segue into the Warnock-Herschel Walker race. The Democrats ain't no way Herschel Walker should have been able to hold a candle to Warnock in a race. But we know, and again, these are things that we are talking to people who are directly connected to, because what people don't know is that Democratic machine is a motherfucker, right? That Democratic machine is. So when you have a race like Warnock, and you know how important it is, and the Democratic Party ain't putting all the bread they can behind it, that tells you something, right?
Who has a very good track record as far as presenting things to the Senate regarding Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
I'll follow Warnock, him, and also have presented several bills and try to get several things going when it came to. So I don't even know why that's not even being put out there of his record, at least going to the Senate and trying to push for bills and things that would definitely benefit us and our communities.
And just what it shows is, I mean, obviously in the South you have all those rural counties and whatnot, but it's just showing that we still have that generation of those. And if you saw kind of the numbers, I think we posted in the group, but you just see that age group, that older sort of white male, white female, older white,
They not letting
white
that power
representing
go, no matter
Latino.
how bad the candidate is.
So,
They
so
ain't
it's a
letting that power
pushback.
go.
It's a pushback, and it's like you're pushing too fast. And you always hear that from our elders, especially the racist elders.
Well,
Is that
no, you hear that
it's
from the
going too
Democrats.
fast.
Hold on,
Yeah.
you hear that from the Democrats. How many
Right.
times have you heard from the Democrats somebody or something was too progressive? And almost every time you hear them talking about somebody or something is too progressive, it's talking about people who trying to do shit for Black folks.
It's clear the Democratic Party's probably been infiltrated with a bunch of centrist or right-thinking Republicans that just came on
Moderates.
over.
Moderates.
That's what's happening.
What Jermaine named one of them.
Yeah.
He was our
Yeah.
mayor. He was a Republican.
Yeah. And that's what's happening. And so the party's been infiltrated. They said, you guys stay over here on the Republican side. Y'all keep pushing the real agenda. We're going to go on over here on this side, and we're going to try to figure out and pluck these white folks, these white men and women who agree with us on the sideline and will vote with us. And there you have it. Looking at that Lunaville, just speaking back to that Lunaville and waiver race, when you look at just the finance, you can kind of tell. It's amazing that Villanueva was even in this race. You look at how much money was pumped into that race. And so same goes for what's the other race that we just that I think
Caruso and Karen Bass?
Well, no. Well, you saw a lot of money pumped into that, but that's just an example. When they know who they want, they'll just flood it with a bunch of money, a bunch of advertising, and what we need and what we're looking for is kind of overlooked. Go ahead.
In Long Beach, the Los Angeles County Feds pumped in over $619,000 into our local elections. That was only into independent expenditures. About I think it was like 300,000 or something to manage or to support field walkers canvassing for their candidates of choice, and that money was that money was, I mean, it came also, it was part from the Democratic Party, and like 3-4 other unions, all bundled together. And it's like, why? That's the question I keep asking. Why? And then and it seems that you share the information and people, they don't think it's a big deal. And then today I thought about it, I said, maybe there's this mindset, and I'm thinking about Black people, because I was talking about a Black person who a lot of this money went to, Rex Richardson. Maybe this whole mindset of by any means necessary is acceptable because we want that, what you say, that Black face in that place. So to get that, Black people are like, well, whatever we need to do, and it's okay, it's acceptable. And not looking at not asking the why.
Not looking at the policy, not looking at the impact that it's actually gonna have. And I'm gonna give my uncle.
We don't want to read, Dane.
Yeah,
we don't want to read. We do not want to read. I had to go through that policy and go through. We went through it last week with people, and people still don't want to read. They don't want to listen even at some times. I looked at the views on that. I'm like, we went through the damn thing for you. Here's the examples. Pick it out. We got to do better, people.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And like I said, I wanted to say, like, I'm gonna give y'all some homework. I want y'all to go look at these current local races, because you can see it, and go look at the donors, the biggest donors, and where their money came from. And that'll give you an idea of who's really pulling the strings in the city. I want y'all to do that. I want y'all to pay attention to that because that's something we got to start
Very
paying attention
revealing.
to. Very
I've been,
revealing.
I've been sharing that locally in Long Beach. I've been showing that, and I started showing it back in like February, March, and people were not paying attention. They didn't start looking at it until like August, and it's like I was showing y'all this back. I was
Yeah.
showing you, and now, and it's like, and now it's too late.
Yeah, but I just
And
want
then
y'all just so y'all know, even going forward for the next election, just look
look at
at
those
where the
donors.
campaign money is coming from, especially from the people that they WEO ass in the back end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Look at where the money is coming from and follow the bread, so you can wonder if
I,
these people have
Even
your
on the
best interest
measures
at
too.
heart.
Even on the
Yeah, in
measures
the
too,
measures.
Dane.
Look up who
Because
putting the money into the measures.
yeah,
one of the most hilarious WWE scripts is like, so they was mad. Law enforcement in Long Beach was mad at Rex Richardson for saying that he was going to defund the police. Right? Go look at one of his bigger donors.
You know what? That was smoke and mirrors. Okay,
I know. That's
Like
why I
I
said
said,
go check out
it was smoke and
his
mirrors.
biggest donors.
It was smoke and mirrors. They used it to provoke. It backfired. First of all, they used it to provoke and basically saying that he said defund the police. He ain't ever had no desire to defund the police. First of all, for him to say something like that
None.
politically, right? So, but it was the people who thought that they were trying to. I got the flyer somewhere here. Thought that that was going to trigger certain voters. It backfired. It backfired because it was distastefully done. It had bullet holes on it, and then they were like, "Well, what do they're going to put bullet holes on him?" No, for those of us who live in communities where people get shot, the bullet hole symbols the bullets that get shot in our communities, the bullet holes that are in our walls. But they made it. His campaign twisted it, and I don't know. It was smoke and mirrors. That's all I can say.
I mean, I talked to him straight up.
Yeah, and
You
even if you
know,
look at
and
that specific financials, the person, and this is how, again, us not reading, everything's public information. It's 3 clicks away. Okay, it's 3 clicks away. Someone who put $10,000 into that independent expenditure had already put about $10,000 against Rex Richardson, had already put about $10,000 into his campaigns over the years. A week after that drops, the person whose name is on the independent expenditure files endorses him. I said maybe, and then I said maybe it was intentional for them to make it for it to be flipped.
Yeah,
Like
of course.
it was straight smoke and mirrors.
It's strategy.
Yeah.
Like, listen, it's strategy. Like, there's so much I seen that they was like, "Oh no, that's strategy."
playing
Like,
chess. They playing
yeah.
chess. We playing checkers.
yeah, so that's why, I got to wrap up in a little bit, but yeah, it was enlightening. We learned a lot. Quincy, give me your last words and your last impression, and make sure, follow Jerlene. Go to her page, man. Follow her Facebook. Go to her YouTube. She has some really good stuff. I've been watching her videos since Quincy did an interview over there, and I'm a fan now. So I'm glad she's here.
I've been going back and forth whether or not I was going to say this. So there's somebody I need to address. Eric Strong.
Put this nigga on solo so they can see what he, you know what I'm saying?
Do the zoom in. Close up.
Yeah, I got to zoom in on him. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
I want to say, you remember, Eric, you went public with this first. So I'm coming public with it back. Yeah, I know this process started with Dame and I supporting Eric campaign. We were in a organization called PAR, Police Officers Against Racism, together, and that's where we met Eric a few years ago. Eric has some strong feelings about Sheriff Villanueva, just like I had strong feelings about Luna and the rest of us. after Eric then went in the primary, I went to that meeting with Luna as somebody, as a Eric Strong supporter. So it was like, now that the primary is over, we down to Villanueva and Luna. We're going to sit and speak with Luna to see where he has to say. So that's how I end up being in the same room with Luna. Shortly after that, Sheriff Villanueva folks contacted me. Me knowing how Eric and his wife feel about Villanueva, they was one of the first calls I made. I went straight to them. I told them, I said, hey, the sheriff want to reach out. Tell you the truth, I didn't even want to talk to the sheriff. It was Dane and Eric who both encouraged me, hey, at least go hear what he got to say. Of course, I know me and Dane, we met with the sheriff. It was a different dialogue than what we had with Luna. The sheriff was open to some of the things we were suggesting. I made sure every time I contacted the sheriff, I was letting Eric know, like, look, because I didn't want him to think like I was going behind his back or whatever. Part of that meeting we was in with Luna was we was trying to see if will Luna be willing to, give Eric a position if he will win that would kind of help our support. Luna really wasn't budging, really didn't want to promise anything, no policies. He wouldn't even take on Eric's policies. Of course, as I spoke about, that meeting didn't go well for Luna. Luna was embarrassed, and he was looking for Eric to assist him or help him. Later on, in a conversation I had with Eric, he told me that Luna's camp was upset with him because he didn't protect Luna in that meeting. I guess he didn't protect Luna from me in that meeting. Shortly after that, now what we kind of understood, and me and Dane made it clear, because at this point we decided, you know what, Villanueva is kind of open to the things we're saying and whatever. This is who we're going to work with. Of course, Eric, with his beef and his issues, he's working with Luna. But one thing we kind of made it clear, I would never attack Eric in the name of Villanueva. With Eric, what they have, I don't really know. And of course, what me and Luna have, our history is what it is. Eric decides to attack me and others publicly in the name of Luna. And then he even tried to diminish what we went through in Long Beach, as if Luna just had an issue with a couple of guys in Long Beach. And that's where our relationship changed. Him and his wife like to share this video of me speaking at Cal State Dominguez, because once Luna realized we was working with Villanueva, he wanted to avoid debates because now he knows Villanueva was armed to go at him and actually go at his record with actually things that went on in Long Beach. So Villanueva felt some type of way about that. So he didn't really he didn't go to this particular debate, and so he sent me to speak on behalf, because at this time, well, not at this time, well, throughout, no media would want to speak with us or even hear any negative things about Luna. So Villanueva was allowed myself and others to use his platform to tell our stories. Once again, Eric attacked me publicly. And then he goes on his page because now folks are upset because we had this, this it's kind of like an unwritten rule. I know you have beef with Villanueva. I'm gonna stay out of that. I have beef. But then once he started diminishing what we went through in Long Beach and attacking me publicly, we had a group that we were in, and that they were him and his wife was removed from the Facebook group. And so they attacked us even more, did a whole little manifesto thing on us and whatever. And that's pretty much it. We wasn't surprised because we've been warned about Eric for 2 years now. We was in a meeting, police officers against racism meeting, and one of the things we was talking about the hiring process. And I said, you know what? One of the issues is people always think it's training when it's police misconduct. I said, no, it's the type of people that you have, and you cannot train the racism out of people. Eric disagreed with me and said, yes, you can train the racism out of people. I should have knew right there. I shouldn't be fucking with him. But despite all the warnings that different people have told us, me, Dame, and Chan gave him the benefit of the doubt, still supported him. And he did what many others, we saw the writing on the wall. He ain't the first that didn't sold me out for Luna. So that's that. I have to say something because they've been smearing my name throughout social media. And so I have to speak up and really tell people the truth. And every fucking single thing I said is the truth. So I just want y'all to remember, y'all the one with public with this shit first. That's it.
All right. Well, Quincy had to get that off, so this is his platform. We had to let him get that off. We want to thank everybody for watching today. Jarlene, please tell me you'll come back.
You're on mute.
You muted.
Tell you my comeback or tell you I will come back?
Tell me you'll come back. Please tell me you'll come back to do the show again.
I will. Thank you. Actually, I needed this. I'm still processing what's happened in this election season, especially in my local community. And I went live today and I said, I'm not done. I started this conversation, and I have these conversations around the political season. I'm not done. I'm not going to stop. One, because there's people that want me to stop. And some of them have even been bold enough to tell me to stop. My daddy didn't raise no punk.
That's right. And we already got some plans moving forward of how we want to continue the work that we're doing, because it ain't over. It ain't over just because this election is over. You know what I mean? We have a lot of things, a lot of plans. Those policies that the sheriff had committed to, we still want to try to get this sheriff to commit to. We still want to get LAPD to commit to. We still want to get Long Beach to commit to. So there's a lot of work to be done, and we're not going to stop the work that we're doing. And we, as always, whatever work we're doing and we're working on, we go come back and bring it to Uncle Ron. Thanks for your insight, man. I always love having, that raw and uncut from you.
I just preach to black people. Love each other, black people. We got to come together. And we gonna figure it out. Stick with us. We're gonna get it all figured out together.
So
thank you, Quincy, for your. And I'm sorry, I just wanted to thank Quincy for all you did for us in this race. Because it took a big person to go against what you really didn't want to do from the beginning, and you stood tall for us all, and we appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Absolutely. And I know people wanted to talk about the Kyrie thing, but this was election day, so we had to talk about. So we'll come back and we'll talk about that, next week.
Yeah, me and Dame, we going on a cruise. I got a shirt. I'm gonna look for Isaac.
I hope they do treat y'all to a week-long all-inclusive cruise, all that work y'all did.
I ain't getting off the boat though. Last time niggas got off the boat.
Me neither, but this cruise is coming at the perfect time. So like I said, we got a lot of work to do. We thank y'all. Jarlene, it's been a pleasure. So
thank you.
I'm gonna tell Quincy gonna be letting you know we're gonna be hey,
Jarlene, don't post this shit on your page because you finna have everybody every top official in Long Beach finna call your damn phone.
I would speak truth to power, and I'm just I'm mindful in how I drop people's names. I am really mindful in that. But what I say, I stand by.
Absolutely. And on that note, we'll leave, because what you say you stand by, what Quincy says he stands by, and what Ron says he stands by, and we all stand by the work that we do, and we're gonna continue. Uncle Geraldine Tatum, until next time, guys. And everybody, if y'all got things y'all want us to talk about, things y'all want us to work on in the community, please hit us up and let us know so we can try to put it on our agenda, see if it's something we can get done or if it's somebody we can get to that can get it done. All right, y'all. Until then, we'll see y'all probably next week because I know y'all burning to talk about Kyrie and the Hebrew Israelites. We out, yeah.